Hi friends and gardeners, and welcome to Starry Hilder's Back to Eden Garden. Just last week I posted a video scratching the surface on what we were doing in our Back to Eden garden. So I hope you friends at home watched, because now we kind of did a time lapse. It is actually 4 weeks later. We filmed that back in April, and now it's May, and I really wanted to show you friends how fast things exploded in our garden. And this is the beauty of this wood chip method. We can actually plant earlier than most people, and that gives us a real advantage, because here in our self-sustainable homestead we need a long growing season. We require a long growing season because we rely on our garden to feed us instead of the grocery store feeding us. So it's really important. But we are going to go into the garden, and Mr. Hilder is actually working on his potatoes. Like I always say, and you'll see in the video, he's a Mr. Potato. But he's the master Mr. Potato at it. So he's been adding some of those wood chips to his potatoes, and those are flourishing, and everything else is flourishing. So as I do the tour, you'll see in the video, Starry was a little bit underneath the weather. Oh, yeah, haven't been feeling good for over a week. We got super bugs going around, so please bear with me when I'm doing the commentary in the video. But it's still a tour, and it still is showing all of you friends how fast our garden has grown and how well it is doing 4 weeks later. Okay, so let's get going. We'll start with the potatoes. This is a month's worth of growth, and Mr. Hilder, he is the potato king.
Down.
Yeah, but real quickly, he has been hauling. What are you hauling to add to the?
Where I had a bunch of wood chips down at the other site. They've been down there for 3 years. So I'm raking those up and hauling those up here, and I'm using them because I want to mound these. I've got a bunch of old straw that we had from the ones we used last year.
Right.
I just throw all the stuff in there and start mounting this stuff up because they're growing taller. I mean,
yeah,
this one's over a foot tall already.
This is amazing. So, and you can see he had well, you added a little bit of straw, right? But now
I just threw that up in there, and then I'm just throwing.
And now it's time for the wood chips.
Here.
Yeah.
Chips look like after about 3 years.
Just sitting weeks later, and we haven't had to do anything. We didn't have to water. We didn't have to add any fertilizers. All Mr. Hilder has been doing is continuing to add wood chips and straw and just mound it up. We just can't keep up with the growth. This is just exciting. It's cool. Hilder continues to work over there and haul in some more of those wood chips to mound up those beautiful potato plants. You can see how awesome this side of the garden is coming. If you remember our other video, early on this spring, I talked about sustainable soil, and I was doing the video from this very bed, and it was bare with just soil. Okay, and of course I have to give a celery update. I can't help it, because look, this celery is beautiful emerald green. It survived the transplanting from that part of the garden to this part of the garden, and it survived over winter. And the beauty of it surviving over winter is we didn't have to do anything. And because because I just look at everything that is coming up, and I want to remind all of you that we are living in the mountains, very close to British Columbia. And I want to show you real quickly, because there is still snow on those mountains. Usually by July, that snow will have disappeared. So many people around here are just beginning to garden. But here on our homestead, I really believe that because we have chosen this Back to Eden garden method, we have this now, early. And I will guarantee you, not too many people have this much production, and it's only May. May 20th or something like that. So this is insane that we are already looking at plants that are huge. Look at our tomato plants. It's like, are you kidding me? They're already flowering, and look at, there's little tomatoes already on these. Oh yeah, right over here. Look at. This is awesome. These are actually, this one's going to need some water. Oh, Mr. Hilder missed this one. We just transplanted a couple a tomato plant that he saved, and it survived. So and which other one is a rescue tomato plant?
These two are
and this
ones that we took from last year. Oh. And we stuck them in the jars.
Oh, those are the ones from the jars. Look at how healthy they are.
These are the jars.
These are nice and stocky looking. This is awesome. So
this one I thought was dead, but you can see it's
doing good too.
There was the main stem.
Yep.
But it's coming along now. So
that jar method did work. We didn't have high success, but we lived and we learned with that method. And next year,
when you probably have about 10 that will make it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you save money. So you don't have to purchase tomato plants when spring comes. But look at how gorgeous. And then, look, there it says already. See? And it's, as I said, it's only May. Chips, these are, the potatoes are just doing great. So Mr. Hilder added more wood chips, and he added more wood chips also on all of our cucumber plants and zucchini plants. Here's a real key tip. You see, we have a lot of these containers here. Believe it or not, zucchini, if you don't know this, zucchini and cucumbers really love heat. And we have found that when we transplant our zucchini and our cucumbers plants from indoors instead of direct sowing, they have a hard time staying alive. They struggle so much. And we have found out that if you cover them when you transplant them and keep them really, really warm, you're going to have great success. Many of our friends have told us, they just direct sow and they do it that way, and that's fine. But with our Back to Eden garden method, we can actually get our plants in the soil so much earlier than a lot of people learn how to compensate for our plants. And the little containers that you see here really does do the trick. We just simply put them over those plants, and you can see, look at how green and vibrant, and they're already flowering. Again, this is insane. We are only in May, and we're in the mountains. Think about that, people. It's pretty cool. Okay, let's go visit my pepper plant. So the key to my pepper plants, and you've seen the video, I've had pepper plant cams early in the spring. Right now we do keep them covered during the night, and even when, like right now, the sun has disappeared, so I'm gonna actually cover our pepper plants back up, because they need a lot of heat. And when you're in these northern climates, you may be struggling with your pepper plants. So having a lot of wood chips where your pepper plants are helps immensely. Having a hoop house over them helps immensely. And I'm even doing, you see, I've got a tire over there. I brought out the recycled tire again, because I'm doing some real hot peppers in this tire, because they love heat. So and the other thing I have to show you, Mr. Hilder's really proud of this, because on the last video, we gave some advice about pulling back the wood chips and weeding, and we showed you the corn. Well, look at that. Corn in May. Is that insane or what? Look at that. All of his corn came up. It's gorgeous. So he's got rows and rows and rows of corn already growing. And because we are still so early in the season, Mr. Hilder is planting, oh, what's going here? I forgot.
Well, I got all this extra room. You know, the corn comes up here, so I got some carrots.
Oh, right.
Just pull the, you know, this is quite thick here, but you got to pull the chips back a little bit.
Yep, we're doing some carrots here.
The corn's going to come up nice, and then once it gets going, I'll simply take a rake, and, you know, once this gets up established, I'll take a rake and bevel these mounds off.
This is the nice thing about the Back to Eden garden method is you can keep planting. You can plant early, and you will have early results also. So it really is.
Did you show them the tomatoes?
Yeah, I showed the tomatoes.
We'll be eating tomatoes soon.
I know, it's insane. Okay, all you gardeners, that's it for Starry Hilder's Back to Eden update. It's so early spring, but I love it, love it, love it. And we'll keep taking you friends along with us for the whole summer and into fall. More Back to Eden garden tips and tutorials and sharing tours. All right, that's the view of my salary because I love it so much. Okay, God bless.